Webflow tutorial for beginners 2023. Create a professional website. Webflow complete guide. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing great and are having an amazing and incredible day. In this video, I'm going to take you through the complete process of creating a professional website using Webflow. So if you're new to Webflow, basically don't worry, because I'm going to be, creating a good website for you. And if you're looking to refresh your skills, this video is for you. So before we dive in, make sure to check out the link in the description box below for a special offer on Webflow. So once you've checked that out, all right, let's get started. The first step is an account for yourself. This is a quick and easy process. Simply head to webflow.com, as I am right now, okay, and click the sign up button, okay? So here we are on the get started. Okay, once you're here, it's going to ask you to enter a work email. Now, I'm going to be using a temp email for myself for now, but if you're doing this for the long run, please do make sure to use a proper email for yourself. So I'm going to go do that, click on continue. Now, I'm going to create a strong password. Make sure that it's, okay, once you've done that, you're going to click on create an account. There we go. And once you do that, you're going to basically, just follow all the prompts it gives you with, the whole sign up bit. And once you have, fully followed the prompts, we're just going to head here. And how should we greet you? You're going to enter your name. I'm going to enter my name. Here we go. I'm going to click on continue. What best describes your role? So you could be, a web designer, product designer, etc. I'm going to go with a web designer for now. Click on continue. Who will you be building your websites for? So you could be, as a freelancer for other clients or for yourself. I'm going to go myself, okay, and click on continue. How comfortable are you with HTML and CSS? So you can tell them if you're familiar, if you're unfamiliar. I'm going to go with unfamiliar, okay, because most of you who are watching right now, maybe you're not, polished on your website creation skills, or maybe you don't even do coding. You don't even have an idea of it. So I'm going to keep this for you. So what do you want to build today? Okay, so first of all, obviously we're going to have a good insight on what we're going to create. Now, either we could create a business site, an e-commerce store, a portfolio, or a blog. Okay, now I'm going to go with business site for now. Basically what a business site is it's a site where you can, endorse your business, tell people about your business that, okay, I do this. This is the things I do. This is what my business has in place, has in store. This is what I do. E-commerce store is like, your Nike or Adidas store. I'm going to show you ways. So you get the point. Nike store where you sell stuff. So that is your e-commerce store. So we're just going to head on over here. And here we go. Webflow making it pop. So now what we're going to do is basically, once we have successfully created everything, followed the prompts, and logged ourselves in, from here on out, basically once you're in, you're gonna, see all the things that it's providing you. So get started with Webflow. In 2 minutes, you'll learn how to create a simple layout visually without code. I'm gonna exit this. I'm gonna exit the tutorial because I don't really need to watch it. Okay. Now, once we've exited the tutorial, here we are. So first of all, what you're gonna want to do is once you're in, you can choose to use a template or start from scratch. Okay, now as you can see, this is starting from scratch. Start from a blank canvas and build exactly what you're envisioning, or you can choose any one of these templates. So we'll be using a template for this tutorial, but feel free to experiment with starting from scratch if you prefer that. So I'm going to choose a good free template for myself. It's a business site, right? So let's go with this one. Let's go with this. And I'm going to click on, first of all, I'm going to go on preview. I'm going to see how it looks, okay? And same for you. If you're going with a template, go ahead and preview it first. If you like what you see, then and only then will you go ahead and select it. So once you select it, you're going to choose the site's name. Once you've chosen the site's name, you're going to click on create site. Okay, now once you're here, we're going to be, taking a look into the Webflow's dashboard. So let me just wait for it to load up real quickly. Okay, now while it's loaded up, let me explain this to you that we're about to take a good look at the main dashboard. So basically, here we are in the dashboard. This is where we are going to be able to edit and add everything to our website. So let's take a few minutes to explore the dashboard and familiarize ourselves with its features. Okay, so first of all, You can go with like this, setup tutorial that it gives you, like change colors, fonts, and classes. How do you do that? Okay. Now, as you can see, the whole layout of Webflow, it's pretty Photoshop, okay? Like, it gives off a very Photoshop vibe, as you can see. If you've ever used an Adobe editor, you know that this looks a lot like that. So, this is how you can change, basically, colors, fonts, and classes. So, let me, go in depth. So, here's your layout. You can choose the layout of your designs. So, I'm going to just keep this one for now. You can also mess around with the spacing. Like, let's say if you want to add padding, let's say I'm going to add 100 padding. You get the point. So I'm going to reset that for now. Now, what you can do more is also, these sizes that you have. You have your width, you have your height, all this stuff over here. You can also overflow by unhiding and stuff like that. You can fit it to whatever position you want. You can mess around with, its positioning. You can mess around with the typography, like you can set a good font size if you want to, a good weight, a good size for the font, a good height for the font, a good color. And the color is pretty abstract choice. You can choose from a wide range of colors. And as you can see, I've just changed the text to blue like that. Like right now it looks pretty off, but don't worry, we're going to work on that. We're going to make your look better. You can also add borders to your background if you want to. Like let's say I'm going to add a border. Oh, look at that. It's added a pretty discrete border to our background. It looks pretty good. Then obviously you have, if I were to back out from here, you have your effects panel. And in the effects panel, you can basically, darken, multiply, color burn, light, screen dodge if you want to. These are all the blending options that you're going to get. Then obviously there's different outlines, box shadows, 2D and 3D transform, transitions, filters, backdrop filters, tons and tons of different editing, you could say, tools that you can use to just make your website look better. Then obviously, this is the add elements section. And in the add elements section, wait, let's open the setup. And yeah, so first of all, there's the replace images. So to replace images, what you can do is if I go over here, okay. And once you're over here, basically what you're going to do is you're going to click over here. And once you click over here, let's say I'm going to choose a random image. Make sure it's like a maximum 4 megabytes file. If it's bigger than that, then it will not allow it to, be pasted. So let me just choose a random 4 megabyte file. Let's go with this, okay? Now, once you've chosen your file, you're going to upload it into that section. So again, you're just going to go on replace images, replace this image, background image with whatever you want. Then you can also modify the layout of your template. And for that, you're going to basically come on add. And once you're over here, you're going to go on layouts. And you can choose different layouts. And furthermore, obviously these are the layouts. Then if you go in elements, obviously here are different elements that you can add, like different sections you want to add into your website. You have different containers. Okay, and we're going to be discussing all of this, so don't worry. We're going to be, going through all of this in great detail. So please do make sure to keep watching till the end. So then you have connect your site to dynamic data. Basically, what this is you can add and edit blog posts, help articles, etc. without ever touching your website's design by creating a CMS collection. So CMS collection is basically, all the different blog posts and stuff like that. And you can create new blog posts if you want to and export it from different websites if you want to. But yeah, you get the point. Then you obviously, let's say if you want help in some kind of thing, Webflow also has an amazing feature of tutorials. So if you come over here in the bottom left, you can see video tutorials. And if you click on them, you can get all these tutorials. It's a pretty cool feature to have in my opinion. And yeah, you can get all the help you want from these features over here. And then obviously in these steps, it just asks you to publish your site. And to publish your site, it says to select a domain for yourself. Now, either you can choose the Webflow's, their own domain, the free domain that they give you, which is not the most attractive, but hey, that's what you're going to get for free. And then there's the custom domain, which you can add by yourself. So we're going to skip all that. We're going to skip all that hefty process for now. We're not going to obviously export it right now. We're going to discuss more about the stuff that we can see in the left-hand side. So obviously, as I said, these are the add elements. And in the add elements section, you obviously have different types of layouts, like sections, containers, grids, and columns. So to bring them here, all you need to do is, it's like a basic drag and drop. So you're just going to drag it, drop it, and there you go. You have a section like that over there. And to do more things, again, if you go on add, you have different containers and grids to add, different columns to add. You have different div blocks. Div blocks, these are basically for coding, so I best recommend you to ignore that. Then you have your lists where you can add different lists of images, list items. You have link blocks, and then you have buttons as well. Buttons are basically if someone clicks on it, they're going to be redirected to some certain thing. So let's say if I were to add youtube.com, okay. Now, and I'm going to click on open a new tab, okay. And let's say I'm going to set it like that. If someone clicks on this, they're going to be redirected to youtube.com. So you get the point. That's what buttons are for. They're just going to redirect you to someplace or link you to a page of your own website. So it's a pretty cool feature to have. Then there's obviously the typography section where you can basically, you know, add different text blocks if you want to, add paragraphs of text, add headings, text links, you have block quotes, you have rich text, and much more. Like these are just, you know, your main text widgets that you can add to just make your website look much more professional, much more nicer. And then obviously, apart from all of that, you have your collection list, media, you have different forms that you can mess around with, you have different advanced tools that you can mess around with. Then you have the components section where you can like create different components. Right now, as you can see, we have the footer component, which is right here, the CTA component where we can like add content in. Then obviously, if you were to go here, this is your navigator, okay? And this is where you can choose where you want different things to be at. So you can bring the CTA up here, you can bring the label down here. So this is like basically where you mess around with the navigation. This is the pages setting, and this is where we can add new pages, change, you know, the destination, you could say, of different pages. You can reorder them if you want to. So yeah, you get the point. This is obviously the CMS, as I told you. These are the users that you can add. This is the e-commerce section, obviously. In the e-commerce section, you're going to basically add all the online store components that you can to your website. This is the assets section. Obviously, these are all the assets that you have in your website or the assets that you're going to have in your website. And this is the settings place where, you know, you have your general settings for your website and much more. So after that, we're going to want to do is basically like once we've discussed the whole dashboard bit, you know, that was the whole dashboard. And that was, you know, all the features that Webflow brings you. Now let's add some content to our website. We'll start with text, button, and images. These are the basic building blocks of any website and can easily be added and edited in Webflow because as we see, Webflow has a pretty compact and abstract design flow, and it's like a great thing to just easily work around with. It's not too difficult, not too complex, you could say. And yeah, we're going to talk about it in great depth. So to add content, what you're going to do, okay, is obviously, first of all, you're going to go and add over here. So let's find a section that we want to add content to. So I'm going to make a section over here. Now, first of all, let's go in this header section. Now, once you go in the header section, let's say you want to change the image in the background. So to change the image in the background, you're going to go to over here. And once you go over here, you're going to go and add. Once you go and add, you're going to go in media and here's image. And you're going to drag it over here. And you can like, you know, extend the whole image and, you know, choose it as whatever you want in the background. Or let's say you want to change the whole parent element of the image in the back. For that, what you can do is you can come to the right hand side, you can scroll a bit down, and here you have the backgrounds, right? So what you can do is you're going to click on that and you can choose your image for yourself. So let's say I'm going to choose this one, okay? You're going to choose that one. And there you go. That is how you're going to choose your image. Now, as we can see, the text has been blended in. So let's click on the text and go on the text color. And let's, you know, change the color to something that our audience or customers can see. Now, obviously, you can see this, like, it's a bit opaque and, you know, it's not really visible. So I'm going to make it less opaque. And there you go. And then, obviously, you have this Learn More button over here. You can choose what feature this brings. So to see what features this brings, you're just going to double click on it. And you can see this basically redirects you to the About page. This is linked to the About page. And you're going to be redirected straight to it. Which is like, you know, pretty basic thing to have. Pretty good feature. Pretty common feature to have in your business site. So after that, now that we've added an image, we've added a text. Let's go ahead and discuss more about different sections. So in this section, let's go and add more text. So we're going to go and add, again, let's go and add a heading block. So let's go in a heading block. We have H1 and we're going to double click on it and let's write something. So let's write new business. Okay, we're going to write that. And once we write that, obviously as I told you, you can add more aspects to this, add more padding if you want to. Let's say I'm going to add the padding to this section. There we go. And as you can see, you just add padding. Padding is basically, just adding more spacing, or, just making it look more open, making it look more free, if that makes sense. So once you've added the padding, what you can do more is you can add an image to this padding. So again, go and add media. And once you go and add media, we're going to go in image. So let's just choose a random image, okay? But let's go and upload over here. Let's go and upload, and let's go with this image. So this is basically a logo, a random logo that I picked off of Google. So I'm going to bring it here, and look at that. So from here on out, what you can do is you can like edit it around. You can bring the image around. You can mess around with wherever you want it to be settled in. So let's say we have the image right here, right? So what you can do is you're going to model wrap it. And once you model wrap it, just move it around to whatever like place you want it to be, whatever section you want it to be. Let's say I'm going to bring it up here. Okay, now once it is up here, make sure to like click on it and move it to the right if you want to. So once you move it, wait, let me select this. Once you select it, over here you can also do more things, like you can give it different effects. Like let me give it some box shadows. You're going to go here on box shadows, and look at that. There's the box shadow. Give it a good angle if you want to. Give it a nice old blur like that. You can also choose the size of the blur if you want to. Like let's say it's a pretty sizable blur. It looks pretty nice. And then obviously align it to like the center if you want to. Align it to the side if you want to. So I'm going to obviously like keep it in the center and give it different paddings. So there we go. By giving it padding, I can move it to the left, and here we are. So new business, I've added the logo down here, and obviously you can take it a bit up. Okay, so I'm going to take it a few inches up, and there we go. And make sure to like crop it a bit, or just keep it like this. Totally depends on whatever you want. Whatever looks best, to be honest. So once you've obviously, again, as we discussed, we're going to add our text and images to like fill out the content of your website. Because obviously that just makes your website more full and more interesting, if that makes sense. And it can also be easily added and edited, as I just showed you. Pretty compact and abstract editing. After that, let's add some layout bundles. They are pre-designed, as I showed you, pre-designed sections of your website that can be added in just a few clicks. This will help you save time and add some visual interests to your website. So if you go in add elements, and we're going to go on layouts. So, to save time, let's click on a single layout. Like, let's go with the hero bar. And once you click on the hero bar, you're going to like drag and drop it somewhere. So as you can see, our hero has come over here. Now you can take it up into where the hero should actually be, or you can just keep it down here. And once it's over here, just add whatever image you like, add whatever type of texts you like. And yeah, that is basically how you can add more layout bundles. These are pre-designed. And as you can see, it already has a button, already has some good font, some good text placements, and some good image placements. So once you obviously have this in your arsenal, what more you can do is basically we're going to add some navigation. So to add navigation, we know that navigation is crucial to any website as it helps your visitors to find their way around. Webflow makes it easy to add and customize navigation marks. So how do you do that? We're going to go on add element, okay? And once you go on add elements, you can either just stick to layout, or you can go on elements, and we're going to go on Nav Bar. Now, once you go on Nav Bar, we're going to come up here, okay? So here is your navigations. So your navigations are already here. So to add what they're going to lead it to, just again, double click on it, go on its settings, and see what it's going to lead them to. So the text says about, but where is this text going to, redirect you? So it could, you know, redirect you to some place like navigation item. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to come down here to see where this person is redirected to. And as we can see, they're going to be redirected to the about page. And then obviously there's the navigation item work. Again, you can double click on it. And once you double click on it, you can set its navigation. And yeah, this is like basically the easiest navigation item techniques you can follow, because like, the template or the theme you're going to go with is already going to provide you with all this stuff. But if you want to, you know, get into the specifics on how you're going to do it more specifically, all you're going to do is, again, go and add elements, and then just go and add nav bar. And you're just going to drag it here, and as you can see, there's your nav bar. And then you can just set up different navigations, so you get the point. So once we have obviously discussed about the whole navigation menu and the navigation status, now let's take a look at the responsive design. Remember, it is important that your website looks good on all devices, whether it's a desktop computer, tablet, or mobile phone. Webflow makes it easy to design for all devices. So what you can do is, obviously this is your laptop design. Make sure to go to like tablet, okay, and mobile phones. So just so you know that your design is optimized for other devices as well, because we don't only want it to look good for our laptop or desktop view. We want it to look good in general. We want it to look good on mobile and tablet views as well. Now, what more things you can do is basically once you've like checked out the whole responsive design, finally we'll take a look at the project settings. Here basically, let's go ahead and here you go, here are the settings. Okay, here is basically where you can add like the layout buttons if you want to. And once you add the layout buttons, what you can do is you can also add your logo and optimize your website for search engines. These settings are important for branding and ensuring your website is easily found by potential visitors. So for that, what you're going to do is you're going to come to the settings over here. Okay, once you go there, add in an ID for yourself, add in whatever like div header stuff if you want to. Go on the custom attributes. Okay, check if you have any issues with the settings over there. And once you've done that, only then you're going to go on the tick sign over here. And if there are no issues found, just go on project settings. Okay. Once you go on project settings, we're just going to wait for this to load up. And once our project settings are loaded up, obviously add a favicon for your website. I'm going to add it right there. There we go. Then you're going to add your main logo. Again, add your logo just like that. Make sure that the dimensions are whatever they want it to be, because they are pretty picky about it. So once you've added all that stuff, finally, what you're going to be left with is the localization. Make sure to have the correct time zone, or at least the right time zone accordingly to whatever time zone you're making this in. Then shared sites will appear in Made in Webflow search results as your public profile. So you can choose this to be on or off, totally depends on you. Website password, you can also enable password protection, but for that, you're going to need to add hosting and upgrade your workspace plan. So I'm going to show you that in a second as well. You can also share your workspace template if you want to, let's say, bring other people into your editing. You could do that as well. And then there's the Webflow branding. To hide Webflow branding from published sites, add hosting or upgrade your workspace plan, as I told you. And then you also have a whole overview of your site, like, the total assets you've used, how many minutes you've spent in actually actively, editing it. You can also choose last it was published here, and then obviously you have other features like you can see the templates that you used, how many pages you consist of it, and how much data it has. So there are all your main settings. Then obviously there's the member setting. In the member setting, you can see all the members that the users you've shared your website with, or who are working on your website with you on. So you can mess around with those settings as well. Then you have the whole publishing section. In the publishing section, basically you have custom domains. Okay, once you have a site plan, you can add your domain below or buy a new Google or GoDaddy domain. So note, some DNS providers don't support using SSL on the root domain. this version without www. So upgrade to a paid site plan to add or purchase custom domains. Then you have the 301 redirects where you can maybe someone clicks on your old links. So that's a 301 redirect where you're going to redirect them from your old link to your new link. Then you have advanced publishing options you get where you can enable SSL, which is like a certificate to, increase security for your website and SEO benefits. You can also minify the HTML, which is, your website coding edit. Then you have the different plans and billings that come with Workflow. Okay, now there are 4 discrete plans. This is for a normal website though. This is for like a business or something normal like that. So you have the starter, you have the basic, you have the CMS, and then you have the business. They're respectively $0, $14, $23, and $39. Okay, but this is only for the website. If you want to make an e-commerce website where you can do transactions and stuff like that, for that, the standard is $29, the plus is $74, and the advanced is $212. So, respectively, these prices increase as well. Then obviously there's your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. When it comes to websites, this is one of the most important things ever, because search engine optimization is what allows your website to end up on the first page on Google and people clicking on it. So obviously there's indexing, the whole indexing aspect where you can disable Webflow subdomain indexing if you want to. Then you have your sitemap where you can auto-generate your sitemap if you want to. You have your Google site verification where verifying your site with Google will give you access to your website's private Google search data. You will also be able to affect how Google search crawls your site. And then you have your global canonical tag URL that you can set. All site pages will use this global tag URL as their starting point and append the page's unique URL slug after it. So once we've discussed that, then there's obviously your forms. These are like the forms you can choose for your notifications, different form submissions that you have. And yeah, these are basically all your settings that you can use for your branding and marketing. One more extremely important and crucial thing is going to be your backups, because make sure you need to make backups for your website, because there could be, it doesn't usually happen, but never say never, there could be a point where your website might crash or maybe the server might be having issues and for some reason your website might go down. So you do need to make sure that you have backups of your website, because imagine you have a very successful and huge website and you have no backups of it. So it's just going to be deleted and gone forever. There's just going to be a void over there. You're going to have to create everything again and it's going to be a whole drag. So just make sure to have backups. Then is your integrations. Integrations is just to, help your workflow more, smoother, help yourself, with other things like Google Analytics, where you can, see the analytics of your website. There's Google Optimize, where you can start running A/B, multivariate, and more tests on your page with Google Optimize, okay? And you can connect them if you want to. There's Google Maps, where an API key is required to use Google Maps. You can, maybe tell location for your workplace using Google Maps. Then there's obviously Facebook Pixel for, if you want to, let's say, promote Facebook ads. It's just like your Amazon affiliation. You can make money with Facebook ads. And then there's obviously custom codes like your CSS and HTML if you want to, mess around with them. But yeah, that's basically all there is to it. There's not a lot that goes on. But yeah, that's all there is to it when it comes to Webflow's website designer and editor. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please drop down a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this in the foreseeable future, please let me know and I'll make more for you. But there you have it, a complete guide to creating a professional website using Webflow. Remember to experiment and have fun with your design process. Don't be afraid to try new things and make your website truly unique. So yeah, that was all from me, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.